Yeah, no, I didn't shave myself this morning. I ain't got all cleaned up yet. I just woke up. You can probably tell. The look on my face. You have bags under your eyes, kind of. Yeah, I couldn't sleep. I was up till 3 o'clock last night. Last night I was sitting there and was playing a football game because I get distracted. I need something to distract my mind and something that doesn't get me too. I'm trying to explain myself sociologically, physiologically, and things like that to you guys. I've been trying to do it for a long time. I guess I'm not a typical human being, but I am a typical human being. But I work on a very different level because of the simple fact, just because of who I am. All right. Now I'm not making up the stuff. I'm trying to explain to you this very scientific fact. Molecularism is a scientific fact. Basically, it's real simple. You just got to keep up and just slow down. We're all relatively connected, so we're all related. Okay. Everything's in molecules. So these molecules assemble and reassemble, because and go into form. It's like the knowledge of the apple was very much evident to us and very much a part of our understanding as human beings that made it better to live with one another and in recognition of self in a physical sense and in a spiritual sense. That it's like an apple on a tree. A apple grows back. We covered this real early in the scripture, and it's something that someone observed real long ago, and then started seeing it in others and having what we consider like a random access memories of each other and remembering other what we call lives. And yeah, it would be another life. It'd be like you were a different apple from the same tree, but a similar apple. Okay, so the parts that in life that make us react real emotionally is there's like and this is hard for me to do. I'm trying not to be selfish, man. I'm be 47 in July. We all, I think, dream. Like this giant book of life, and we get lost in a book, and the pages get moved around here and there, and there's people that want better pages in the book, and they try to rewrite their own in their own way without putting the love and the courage and the effort in. And I was sitting there. Gosh, this gets so abstract. I'm sorry because my emotions. I'm very human. I just want you to know that, I miss my mom. I miss my sister-in-law, my brother-in-law's sister. She was a very special, strong lady. We didn't get to know each other as well as I wanted to, but she was always a good mom. I miss Shell. I always wanted to meet Keith, man. I always wanted to meet Guru. There was always I told you, I went looking for his music. I couldn't find it. They wouldn't let me, Everywhere I went, it's like I couldn't get it ordered. I couldn't get it to come in. I couldn't find the jazzmatazz. I couldn't find. It became so much a part of the day. I've expected not ever to find it. I never went looking for it that much. I just accepted the fact that, okay, those jazzmatazz albums they were critically acclaimed, and this has just not been very good. But it is with a lot of critically acclaimed crap. Yada 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 yada. Maybe it is one of like a one-hit wonder or two. Maybe his stuff's not really that good. Maybe he's just not. Maybe that word that manifests is just kind of, And then the same thing with Black Sheep. He just, choice is yours. And there's not really much. They were just all right. I could never find certain things that would change my perspective to an even grander, broader scale. And so I would fall into assumptions. And, when I saw hip-hop going in a self-indulgent, get laid, get paid kind of thing, I just rejected it. And then I couldn't stand, getting paid Eric B. and Rakim. And then I listened to Rakim on that Art of Rap video. I'm like, oh my God, the guy's deep, he's cool, he's amazing, he's really cool. I thought I couldn't stand those two because I heard certain things from it and it all got thrown into You know, and then when I ran to run into UNC, I was just like, man, I got really, you know, and the day Ice-T came with his wife and Rodney was so impressed with him, I was off that day. And they're like, you want to work? It's like, no, man, I had a date. You know, it's like, sorry, but it's probably with Edna. I don't know. Yeah, she was you. If you'd have seen her, you would know if you showed up at work. Besides, I would have showed up to work on my day off to see Natalie Cole, not Ice-T. Sorry. It was worth it. Natalie Cole was really cool. She was a really special lady. But I already knew she was. I don't know how this book works, man. It's like people flip through and change the pages. They've been changing the pages and flipping the scripts trying to make it work. That's how it works. Is everyone's been manipulating it, and it's worked out in accordance to how it's the plan, as Lynn told me. It's all part of the plan. It's really weird. And then last night I was sitting there, and I was getting bothered telekinetically or spiritually. I see it as spiritually, because telekinesis is a part of our spiritual makeup. It's a part of our totality makeup. So I see it as a spiritual connection. And it's like, this ink art. And, you guys really want me to watch this ink art. So there's these kids and this lady and these people in their lives are like, watch a movie. It's good. Watch a movie, Ralph. Come on, kid. Come watch a movie. It's 9 o'clock. Shouldn't the kids be in bed? You know, I'm late. I didn't get to it in time. I'll talk about it in the morning. I'll watch the movie. Every time I get a you guys call it telekinesis, a spiritual connection with these two young kids. We watch a movie that they want me to, watch, that I get a hold of, and it's like, now just watch it. Don't have any preconceived. Don't judge it. Don't analyze it. Just enjoy the movie. And I do. I watched Bambi 2, and I just watched it, and I enjoyed it. And this one's called Inkart with Brendan Fraser, and I just shut up and I watched it, and I enjoyed it. The guy who plays Jennifer Gardner's boss on 13 Going on 30 plays the bad guy in it. He does a really good job, and he's great as her boss on 13 Going on 30. He's really fun in it too. I like him. He's a good actor. I don't know his name. I'm sorry. I didn't check a lot. The other actors and actresses in it are beautiful. It's a lot of fun. They really invest themselves in this story, and it's very, you invest in it. It's fun. It's pretty. The lady who plays the aunt is just hilarious. She's great, and the guy who plays the writer of the book, I think he's one of the guys on Harry Potter who helps Harry Potter through his things and stuff like that too. As a matter of fact, I do remember he was one of the guys from Harry Potter that helps Harry Potter through one of his things and stuff like that. It's neat to see these other people show up in our stories and our books. They're playing a different character this time, and they're like book characters for us that come and show us pages, and it's neat. I'm noticing that. It's actors do that, because it's Brendan Fraser, but it's also the guy from The Mummy, But he's that character. He's her dad. He's invested you in this character. Brendan's good at that. He has a very a kind of personality that it really invests you into the character, that makes you care, and that you like him, and that you care about him, and you want to see him succeed in life and have some pleasures and joy, and have limited sorrows, and it's cool. It's a good movie. It's a good book. It's a book. It's a book on film. So it was good, and it was the written's on it, and I was like, at the end, and then I woke up this morning, and it's like, who'd want to be in that kind of relationship with her and the little Persian guy from he's cute. He's really cute. He's extremely cute. She's adorable. The daughter and the son. Well, not the son, but the boy in the book. You'd have to watch the movie. You guys have to go watch it. It's Inkart, and it's like, any one of those silver tongues could grab a book and read them back into the book and stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, that's life. It's like at any moment something could happen. And this person that seemed to come off the pages of a book of a fairy tale to be the person that you just romantically, he stole the picture from the dad. It's cute, but he just adores the girl, which is understandable. She's an amazing character, and he's a pretty cool character too. He's got he's very adventuresome, and he's very brave. And when he did something that screwed up, he got the other guy in the head. It's my fault. No, it's not your fault. And he has a conscience, and he's cool. And she is too, and the mom is too. And the characters are cool, and you see their flaws and how they develop their character and become less. It's not less. Yeah, it's less flawed. I mean, because they grow and they build off of each other's strengths, or they build off of each other's weaknesses, and that's the way it is in the book. It's really interesting, and you can either follow the weaknesses or the strengths, the beauty and the courage, or the fear and the cowardly. And it's a good book, man, a good movie. I really enjoyed it. Inkheart. I was impressed. It was fun. A lot of children's books do that to you. Bridge to Terabithia did that to me. Actually, the Lord of the Rings is kind of like, in a way, with enough imagination that it's meant to involve children and get them going. To C.S. Lewis's Narnia books with great depths of detail of sharing love with stories of faith and beauty and courage and yeah, they're the same way. They're geared very much towards adults and towards children, that we can all enjoy them together and enjoy reading together and being together and being a story together and sharing stories together. And then we can adapt it into our own story of our own lives. And it's important what you read with your children, because what you're writing with your children is the very book that they'll read to theirs. Oh, that's very deep and special. I loaded 2 pictures on my phone of a famous lady, and those are accumulative kind of things of her words from her book of people that she loves, that I've spiritually believed I connected to. That I guess we do connect. I guess it's not that I doubt, it's just that I feel like I'm being manipulated all the time, and I don't see anything change, and I get grumpy, as someone always says to me. Ralph's grumpy. I am grumpy. I get grumpy. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be grumpy, but I get impatient, and it's not entirely my fault, because we're all relatively connected, but it is my reaction, and my reaction is a reaction to a lot of you got to understand, please, everyone, that I connect to people that have lost their family in wars, and now they're finding out that they thought their son was a hero, and he was, but he bought into a horrible program like the Nazi program and thought he was doing the right thing, ended up dying for his country, and ended up going there as a oral war mercenary for a corporation instead of a patriot whose name is on a wall of a courageous man. That's what it feels like now, and it's not so. He thought he was doing the right thing. He was invested in a group collective connective consciousness that was told they were doing the right thing when it was absolutely probably very much the wrong thing. But he had no way of really knowing, because the group, everything was correct, and he was pleasing his family, and and they're angry, and they're mad, and they're sad. You've been hoodwinked. I trusted you, and I loved you, and you lied to me. You were the greatest country of all time. You were a constitution inspired by God. You were the greatest country of all time. They sold slaves. They bought slaves, just like the great Roman Empire. Yeah. All Rome is going to fall. Praise the Lord. They took slaves and had people entertain them as gladiators in large arenas that fought to the death for their entertainment. Caesar could decide if you lived or died after the fight. The great Roman Empire, great. They took slaves. They had orgies. People that made rules and laws that affected people's very lives of whether or not they could have a house or keep their wife. Went to fights in a coliseum where people died and murdered each other for their entertainment. And a guy could sit there and go like this and decide whether or not they live or die and go to an orgy. And this was a great Roman Empire. Do you see how sick we can be? All done in the name of religion. Yeah, the guy had himself turned into a living god so people would accept all the bullshit he threw at them. Have you ever seen, it's based on historical evidence, have you ever seen Gladiator? Okay? A lot of this stuff we don't make up. It's based on very real stories that have happened. Okay? Spartacus, they said, is a romanticized legend, but there's a lot of the romance to legend is very much real, because they see that now with Martin Luther King, with me, and stuff. They're like, Ralph's very real, and a lot of that romance in it is very real. He doesn't give up. He doesn't stop loving. He loves you. He won't quit. I mean, he gets put through horrible shit, and it's very romantic what this crazy guy does. I mean, it doesn't seem romantic if you sit back and watch it and you put it into a book. He's just sitting there mulling through some simple math equations that make him behave in what's, I guess, considered a courageous fashion. But I'm just putting on some clothes, making some videos on a phone, walking down to the library, going to take more condemnation from a lot of people, a lot of awe from a lot of people, and a lot of, is he really real? What's he talking about? Is it really true? Oh my God, I can't make up my mind. To be intelligent, to stop murdering each other in mass quantities, to stop accepting this entertainment Roman system. Yeah. And we watch movies that don't really happen, but we're really entertained when all these people are sitting there on the freeway while everything's blowing up, and they don't show you, I told you, the after movie. Okay, with the 8,000 people and families all showing up with all the people that got killed in the process of Optimus Prime and one of the Decepticons fighting on the freeway in Las Vegas. I mean, over resources, to exploit the resources and extort each other over the resources and murder each other over the resources and then hide the information of what we were actually doing because we don't want to look bad historically. It's a little too late for that. The only way to look good historically is write new pages on your book. Now, it's entirely possible that there's a very famous, beautiful woman that might be interested in meeting me. And it might be hard for both of us to comprehend the relationship at first and accept it and take it. I had dreams, and I had them again this morning. They're like waking dreams, that she sits there and watches me sleep, touches my head, and sits there and just watches me and can't believe it's me. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm fat. I got a fat belly and hair on my back, and my breath stinks in the morning, and I eat too much hot dogs and stuff, and I have very bad gas, and I try not to eat too much hot dogs and chili and stuff. And I try to eat more healthy stuff so I don't have very bad gas, because I really care about other people in my life, and I don't want them sitting there going, dude, you need to eat less of those Hebrew vegetables. Yeah, you're right, that kind of stinks. And I had chili with them too. Oh my God, yeah, I try not to. I'll try to eat stuff that's more healthy. Beans, I can eat plenty of beans. I was raised on beans, and you get gas from beans, but it's not nearly as bad as the stuff you have with a processed hot dog or a can of chili. Yeah, if you have some beans, yeah. Everybody farts, oh man. It's normal. Everybody poops. Everybody pees. Everybody has some kind of form of morning breath. I'm no different than the rest of you, okay? I'm not perfect. I'm just very average. I'm an average person. Me and LG talked about that too. I mean, I excel at being very average, and I look at Al and I'm like, you're anything but average. You're analytically magnificent to me. You're strong and you're beautiful. You're chiseled. You're courageous. You're not afraid. And you're one of the most beautiful human beings I've ever met. You intimidate me, and you're 28 years old or so, and I'm 44. And I'm intimidated by you and Joe. I adore you both, but you're anything but average to me. You're courageous and you're strong. You stand up for what you believe in. And you're analytically amazing young men. I think you're two of the most beautiful men I've ever met, and I've never got to meet Joe in the flesh. We've only corresponded through letters while he was in prison because he got angry because they were fricking him and sticking him like they were fricking and sticking me, and he was a young man. They say I've handled things a lot better than a lot of people, but then again, I am the similitude of Saladin, David, Jesus, John, and others. You can say, I'm not going to take Jesus out of the equation because he's a human being. And I'm not going to let you make me into a myth like you did him. I'm not going to let you remove my penis, okay, and remove my ability to defecate and urinate, and then move my ability to grow old and die and replenish the full soil and enjoy children and lose my patience and get angry. And I'm not going to allow you to remove my ability to be a human being that's flawed like the rest of you, and they react to a lot of this insanity and says, this needs to stop because Jesus sure the hell did it. He fashioned a whip. He went outside, he came back in, he cussed like a motherfucker, and he turned those fucking tables on their heads, and he cussed them out, and he whipped them, and he ran them out of his father's house, and he said, you will not turn this into a den of iniquity. You won't turn God into a damn corporation. Buy and sell them. We are not fucking Rome, okay? We don't go to fucking orgies. We don't set up coliseums for people to die for our fucking entertainment. We don't walk 500 men off a cliff to prove a fucking point, and we stand for the people, and I'd rather die myself, by myself, than walk 500 of you, 5,000 of you off a cliff to prove a fucking point. I'm not Caesar. I am the king of Israel. And you'll damn well respect me the way I will respect you when you can respect that God is for all and in the life of all. And don't you sell another damn dove to bloodlet so God is pleased with your stupidity. I'm a man. I want to meet my wife. I want to hold her. I want to look in her eyes and tell her I've waited all my life to meet you. I've been dreaming about you since I was 3 years old. I want to meet your kids. I want to meet your dog. I want to help you clip your toenails. I want to rub your bunions. I want to get to know you. I'm sick of these motherfuckers torturing me and torturing my family for over 4,000 fucking years because we show them that life is greater than themselves. And they should appreciate the greatness of it. It can be very fragile and very frail. It can be very strong. It can be whatever we make out of it. And it can end at any time, so you ought to appreciate it for what it's worth in this very moment, more than you've appreciated anything in your whole life. Well, if we molecularly transfigure and we're all relatively connected, I'll be back to fuck with you some more, and I'll be back to kick your ass some more. And we can do this over and over again. You like your record, and then you get all pissed. Oh, you look so good. You get so many talents. You get a hot girl. You get people that really love you, and you get people that disdain you, can't stand you, and want you to stop writing like shit. Molecularism is really real. It's based on basic math and science. Okay, relativity is really real. They're understandings. They're not theories. Okay, all things are relative. Okay, all things all work in molecular structures that do transfiguratory states that displace and come in similitudes of their former similitudes of self. It's like a tree. We explain it to you. Daniel explains it to Nebuchadnezzar. Like a tree with this, with the He's explaining it to him in molecular and relative forms and in ways that it can be comprehended by somebody 4,000 years ago so they can understand it in a spiritual context so they can practically apply it in a rudimentary fashion that's very behavioral. It's a very loving behavioral fashion. And Nebuchadnezzar does submit because a lot of things he learns and becomes a very humble king, as does Cyrus as well. And I believe that they're related to people in the Rockefeller family, and I believe they want to change. And he'll change, but I believe it's very hard because it's like Daniel and the lions did. You've got Cyrus and a few good Babylonian wise men that got saved by Daniel, Hananiah, Azariah, and Mishael, and that's about it. Against all these little conniving little snidely whiplash behind your back, stab your back, sorry-ass, Sirius Black's family, punk-ass motherfuckers that want to all fight, snidely whiplash, snivel, stab everybody in the back to get what they want. They're the Iagos, the Macbeths, and the other guys behind the scenes, and the Hamlet's uncle and all that stuff that do all the bullshit to try to take that E2 birthday. Beware the Ides of March, Caesar. There are good Caesars and there are bad Caesars. Marcus Aurelius was one of my favorite to read. Okay. Some of his math equations and stuff were off, but he was surrounded by a bunch of people that accepted Rome and their idiocracy. I don't accept that idiocracy. I find it quite intolerable, and I reject it. And it reflects in my family. It reflects in my Uncle Saladin. It sure reflects in my Uncle Jesus, and it reflects in my Uncle Moses. It reflects in my Uncle David. It reflects in his beautiful... And technically it makes Solomon, even though it's like he's a son of my direct line uncle, he's still an uncle to me. He's just like Haile Selassie is like an uncle to me. Bob Marley's like a brother, a son, a father. We're all related. Steve Biko explained that through Denzel Washington in the movie Cry Freedom. We don't really look at it as more. It's more like that's my sister's brother instead of my uncle. So he's like a brother of this or that. We're older brothers, younger brothers. We're all like brothers and sisters is the way we explain it in the Zulu tribe. It's everyone's like either an older brother or a younger brother and a younger sister and an older sister. That seems awfully ancestral. That's because we can do relative molecular math. We're kind of intelligent. Mama Earl's kissing his sister. Yeah. And if I'm so inclined and so damn lucky, I sure as hell look forward to it. Promise to brush and floss and to enjoy the hell out of it. If I get a chance to kiss one of my sisters that I've waited to kiss since I was 3 years old. I saw this woman's face since I was 3 fucking years old. And I've been tortured by a bunch of secular psychopaths that want to rule the world through insanity and continue the greatness of fucking Rome in the United States. Let's watch people mass murder each other for entertainment. Then let's go to an orgy and get wasted. Yeah, we all want to get together and just get drunk, play music, get drunk, do some drugs, and then get fucked. These are our favorite movies. Oh, we had a great time all waking up. That was the best party I've ever been to in my life. Were you in that? Yeah, public bathroom with pool water bouncing off my balls while that gorgeous blonde was bouncing up and down on me? Whoa, let's do that again. I like the part, have you ever seen that Monster-in-Law when he moves her into his place? And they're moving stuff in, and he sits there and he goes, I want to go take a shower. How about you? And she goes, yeah. They get all excited, and they go right. And then he's gone, and she's in the bath, and she's sitting there talking. She goes, what are you doing right now? She goes, I'm in the bathtub. He's like, oh, kid, you're kidding. No, really? Yeah. And then his mom walks in. It's hilarious. I've had my mom walk in. Yeah, it's embarrassing. Well, she didn't walk in. She knocked. Whoa! It's like, oh, I was all embarrassed. My girlfriend was like, no, I think it's great that your penis does a complete reversal, and I'm handing you your condom when your mom knocks on the door and goes early in the middle of, when she wasn't supposed to be home. Yeah, I was 20 years old, and I helped my mom pay off the cars and pay the rent, and she wasn't supposed to be home. She decided not to go to her class and came home, which she almost never does. She loves school, and so yeah, Raquel were both like, oh my God, that was embarrassing. She probably heard us when she walked in the door. She probably was just going to have to just kind of like, that's why she came up and, oh, early, are you there? She played it off, you know, just kind of like, guys, I'm here, and I heard you having sex in the bedroom. Okay, this is so out of character for you. I'm proud of you. I would like to meet her. It wasn't for my sister. My sister was more the type that, okay, whatever, she did whatever she wanted. I was more the type, that's why my mom was, oh my gosh, he didn't think I was home and his sister's not home. And so he came, you know, he goes to school, he works his jobs, he's worked many times 2 jobs and gone to school and pays off the cars and helps pay the rent, and he's a good kid. So, you know, he didn't expect me to be home, and I'm going to be here and I don't want to embarrass him, so I'll just embarrass him right now because I don't want to sit here and listen to my 20-year-old son have sex with his 17-year-old girlfriend. That's right now. Yeah, it's a little hard, I guess, for a mom to handle. I had to sit and listen to her and Victor every time I get. It's like, oh my gosh, okay, that's my mom having sex with one of my sister's friends. Okay, I'm out of here. I'm just gonna go put my basketball shoes on. I'm gonna walk down. It's funny, my friends are like, what? It's like, never mind. I just don't want to talk about it. No, it's cool. It's cool. Yeah. Yeah, it's nothing. My 40-some-odd-year-old mom was just. I walked in and I could hear it in the bedroom, and she's having sex with my sister's 20-some-odd-year-old friend. How do you feel about that? I'm just going to play some basketball and try to forget about it. It happens, man. It's part of life. It's true. Well, Victor, my mom's really into, she was very into Benjamin Sisko from, he looked kind of a combination between, he looked a lot like maybe, the guy who, I read books. She's attractive. She's about 6'4" and stuff like that. He's very attracted to my mom. My mom's an attractive woman, red hair, and so so I don't want to talk about it. It was, we're all looking for comfort and stuff, and I don't judge my mom. She was just looking for someone to be with because life never lived up to her expectations, and she was looking for some moments, I always turned every sex, until that 5G. My first marriage was horrible, and then I just got kind of jaded, and after what happened with Yolanda and everything else and all the people and stuff, I got jaded for a while. Amy studied me and talked to all my friends and my girlfriends. They all told her exactly what to say and what to do, and I fell for it hook, line, and sinker like a complete dolt, even though I knew. We'll be back. Blessings and peace.